You guys doing out here? Today is Wednesday, December 27th, 2017. Pretty nice day up here in Gilpin County, except for the wind. It's the usual, typical wind, but the temperatures are really warm and it's like almost 40 degrees. And looks like we got some pretty nice weather coming up for the next 10-day forecast. Looks pretty good going into 2018, so not too bad of a winter we're having up here. Anyways, what's going on today? Still looking, trying to find a job. That's being frustration, man. But recently I was watching a video by a lady who calls herself Never Lose Truth, and she's really into the Agenda 2130. You know, she talks a lot about the California wildfires and the whole plot to destroy the American people. You know, it's really quite interesting to me, you know. And she was talking about a paper that was written in 1969 that pretty much talks about all the shit that's going on in America today and how they've been planning it out for a long time, man. This American collapse has been planned out since freaking the 1800s, man. They've been planning this shit. It's just taking them a lot longer than they thought it would. And we can really see it now. The plot is unfolding big time, man. But yeah, she talks about this paper that was written by this fucking scumbag, fucking, what do they call it, like a social engineer back in 1969, and how it planning out all this shit that we're seeing today, like gay marriage and fucking homosexuality and fucking demoralization of America. And then there was a book that came out in the 60s called the plan for like rebuilding America's defenses, and it goes into, you know, talking about 9/11 back in the 1960s. It talked about how, you know, in order to implement their plan, they would need another, how do they call it, cauterizing event, like Pearl Harbor. So yeah, they were basically spelling out that that 9/11 was gonna happen. And then you notice how it happened right at the beginning of the 21st century. So yeah, this whole, and then ever since 9/11, look at everything that's occurred. So yeah, man, this fucking plot to destroy the American people, man, it's been going on for a very long time, and most people don't realize it. They can't see it. They think it's all happening because it's our own fault, basically. And they've done a really good job of selling it to us, man, and making us believe that we're doing it to ourselves. But now they're really lowering the boom, man. It's the final fucking, the end game is in play, man. You can see it. The end game really came into play like just recently, man, big time, like with the hurricanes, the weather modification, you know, all the hurricanes that hit at the end of the summer there. And then there was the Las Vegas shooting. That was another big event in the fucking end game. And then all the California wildfires displacing people. Man, there's so much shit going on right now that's just you know, playing out right as we speak, that people are disappearing. Homeless people are disappearing. Fucking people that lost their homes in the fires, you know, they're not allowing them to rebuild their homes. All these things that are playing out. We're seeing the recent passing of the gay marriage law, Obamacare, you know, all these things are part of the fucking end game. And yeah, it's ratcheting up big time, and these people have a lot of patience. They you know, they have all the time in the world, because, and I think some of these people that are in control of the world right now. I think they may even be some immortals there, man, that live for a very long time, man. That's why they're so patient. That's why they have plans that go for generations, hundreds and hundreds of years, that they take to play out these plans. And the whole American experiment of free-range slavery, I like to call it, it was a big experiment, you know, and it was very successful for a long time, until we got to this point where we're at now, where we have all these worthless eaters, they call us, and they have no use for us anymore. So big time end game coming on to get rid of us all. And yeah, I think so, man. I really do. I've talked about this before, the whole Archon agenda and the Anunnaki, who I believe genetically engineered the human race. And that's why we're so fucked up, because they engineered us in their image, but they totally fucked up our genetics. That's why humans are so stupid. Why we have so many issues. You know, damn, that almost took my eyeball out. They did it on purpose to make us emotional, so they could easily control us with our emotions and shit. But yeah, and so yes, fascinating subject. I think the whole war on the American people is playing out right now, and yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in 2018. I'm sure it's going to get a lot worse, and there'll probably be some, I'm predicting there'll be some kind of an epidemic, like an Ebola or something. And once again, it'll be hyped up, and probably won't be the big epidemic that they're going to predict it to be, but just like last time. Anyways, yeah, something's going to happen. A lot more people are going to die. People are going to disappear. This whole area is probably going to be burned up. My house is probably going to be destroyed, and a lot of other people, man. It's just part of the fucking end game going on, man. It's just they're lowering the boom. The final countdown is here, man. So that's what I'm expecting to see. A lot more of the same, man. People's homes being destroyed, not allowed to be rebuilt, and you won't hear much about it, man. It'll just be like a quiet culling of the people, man. They'll continue to say that the population is growing, and I think it already has started to decline, but they're still telling us that the population is out of control because we're a bunch of worthless breeding fucking rats. And yep, and they got to get rid of 90% of us. So yeah, man, they're going to use floods, they're going to use hurricanes, they're going to use tornadoes, they're going to use drought, they're going to use snow, they're going to use cold, they're going to use everything that the weather can possibly bring, and then they're going to deny it all, blame it on us. That's what they've been doing all along. They call it climate change. It's a cover story for weather manipulation. That's what climate change is. It's a cover story, and it's a way of, you know, doing this to us and putting the blame right back on us. And that's what's going on, man. That's what this whole weather fucking war is about. And they can easily deny it, and they will, and they'll never admit it. It's brilliant, man. But I see right through it.